Oh, she's so fabulously, does she? Oh, she's so fabulously, does she? Who's in with? Well, Philippe Michel, he's a photographer. He's a photographer. Oh, he's doing the supplements, he's doing the supplement, isn't he? Oh, he's amazing. He's sharp. Oh, he's amazing. He's sharp like everything. Yeah, I think it was their really good friend. Oh, Vincent. Oh, oh well, there Vincent drummer. Daniel hooked up with a friend. Daniel hooked up with his. Daniel hooked up with his. Daniel hooked up with Phillips. Daniel hooked up with Phillips. Daniel hooked up with Phillips' ex-girlfriend and girlfriend years ago. Girlfriend a couple of years ago. Girlfriend a couple of years ago. Daniel hooked up with Phillips. Daniel hooked up with Phillips' ex-girlfriend a couple of years ago. Daniel hooked up with Phillips' ex-girlfriend a couple of years ago. Daniel hooked up with Phillips' ex-girlfriend a Daniel hooked up with Phillips' ex-girlfriend a couple Daniel hooked up with Phillips' ex-girlfriend a couple years ago. Daniel hooked up with Phillips' ex-girlfriend a couple years ago. Daniel hooked up with Phillips' ex-girlfriend a couple years ago. But they're fine now. They're fine now. Yeah, we went out for like. Yeah, we went out for like a week. We went out. We went out. We went out. We went out for like a week. Yeah, we went out for like a week. Yeah, we went out for like a week. Yeah, we went out. Yeah, we went out. We went out for like a week.
And they don't call him a tripod because it's a photographer. And they don't call him a tripod because it's a photographer.
I mean, I'm couple. I mean,
And they don't call him a tripod because it's a photographer. And they don't.
Because he's a photographer. And they don't call him. And they don't call him. And they don't call him. And they don't call him the tripod, 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 and they don't call and they don't call him the tripod, and they don't call him the and they don't call him the tripod, and they don't because he's a photographer, 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 and they don't call him, and they don't call him, and they don't call him, and they don't call him the tripod. They don't call him the tripod, and they don't call him, and they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer, 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 but because he's a photographer, because he's a photographer, because he's a photographer, because he's a photographer, and they don't call him, and they don't call him the tripod, 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 and they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer, and they don't call him the tripod, 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 and they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer, and they don't call him the tripod, and they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer, and they don't call him the tripod, and they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer, and they don't call him the tripod, and they don't call him the tripod, and they don't call in the tripod, and they don't call in the tripod, and they don't call in the, and they don't call in the tripod, and they don't call in the tripod because he's a photographer, because he's a, because he's a, because he's a, because he's a photographer, and they don't call in the tripod because he's a, because it's a, and they don't call in the tripod, and they don't call in the tripod because he's a photographer. I don't. And they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer. And they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer. And they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer. And they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer. And they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer. And they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer. And they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer. They don't call him the tripod because it's a, and they don't call him the, and they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer. Daniel hooked up with a fellow sexy girlfriend. Daniel hooked up with a fellow sexy girlfriend a couple years ago. Daniel hooked up with a fellow sexy girlfriend a couple years ago. Daniel hooked up with a fellow sexy girlfriend a couple years ago. Daniel hooked up with a fellow sexy girlfriend a couple years ago. But they are fine now. Yeah, we went out for like a week. And they don't call him, and they don't call him the cop, and they don't call him the tripod, and they don't call him, and they don't call him the, and they don't call him the, and they don't call him, and they don't call him the, and they don't, and they don't call him the tripod because he, and they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer. If you catch Matt. If you catch mud, if you catch mud, if you catch mud. If you catch my drift, 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 if you catch my drift. Is this graph? Is this graph? Crap. This is crap. This is crap. This is crap. This is crap. Oh. Nope. Down. Can go down.
Oh, this is terrible.
To down. To out. To out. Can't go down. Can't go down. Can't go down.
Oh, this is terrible. Oh, this is terrible.
Oh, this is terrible. Oh, this is terrible.
Lee, can I trust you with something?
Daniel hooked up with a Philip's sexy girlfriend a couple years ago. Daniel hooked up with a Philip's sexy girlfriend a couple years ago. Daniel hooked up with a Philip's sexy girlfriend a couple years ago. Daniel hooked up with a Philip's sexy girlfriend a couple years ago. Daniel hooked up with a Philip's sexy girlfriend a couple years ago. Daniel hooked up with Philip's sexy girlfriend. Daniel hooked up with Philip's sexy girlfriend a couple years ago. But they're fine now. Yeah, went out for like a week. And they don't call him the tripod because it's and they don't call him the tripod, and they don't call him the tripod, and they don't call him the tripod, then they don't call him the, and they don't call him the tripod, and they don't call him the, and they don't call him the tripod, and they don't call him the tripod, and they don't call him the tripod, and they don't know, and they don't call him the tripod, and they don't call him the tripod because he's the photographer, and they don't call him, and they don't call him the tripod, and they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer. They don't call him because he's the photographer. He's a photographer. He's a photographer. Because it's a, because he's a photographer. Because he's a photographer. Because he's a photographer. They don't. Because he's a photographer. They don't call him the, and they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer. Because it's photographer. And they don't call him the tripod. 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 And they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer. And they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer. And they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer. And they don't call him the tripod. And they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer. And they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer. And they don't call him the and they don't call him the tripod because it's a photographer. And they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer. Because it's the photographer. If you catch my drift, if you can. And they don't call him the tripod because it's photographer. If you catch my drift. This is crap. This is crap. No. 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 To down. To out. Can go there. Can go there. Can go there. Daniel hooked up with Phillips. Daniel hooked up with Phillips' ex-girlfriend a couple years ago. But they are fine now. Yeah, we know now. We went out for like a week. And they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer. If you can't catch my drift. If you catch my drift, this is a crap. No. Too down, too out. Can't go there. Daniel hooked up with the Phillips. Daniel hooked up with the Phillips. Daniel hooked up with the Phillips then. Daniel hooked up with the Phillips. Daniel hooked up with the Daniel hooked up with the Phillips. Daniel hooked up with the Phillips. Daniel hooked up with the Phillips' ex-girlfriend a couple years ago. But they're fine now. Daniel hooked up with the Phillips' ex-girlfriend a couple years ago. But they are fine now. Yeah, we went out like a week. And they don't call him the tripod. And they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer. If you catch my drift. This is crap. No. To down, to out. Can't go there. Daniel hooked up with the Phillips' ex-girlfriend a couple years ago. But they're fine now. Yeah, we went out for like a week. And they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer. If you catch my drift. This is crap. No. To down, to out. Can't go there. Daniel hooked up with the Phillips' ex-girlfriend a couple years ago. But they are fine now. Yeah, we are now for like a week. And they don't call him they call him the tripod because he's a photographer. And they call him the tripod because he's a photographer. If you catch my drift. This is crap. Daniel hooked up with the Phillips' ex-girlfriend a couple years ago, but they're fine now. Yeah, we are now for like a week. And they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer. If you catch my drift. This is crap. Too down, too out. Can't go there. Daniel hooked up with the Phillips' ex-girlfriend a couple years ago, but they're fine now. Yeah, we're now like a week. And they're calling him the tripod because he's a photographer. Daniel hooked up with the Phillips' ex-girlfriend a couple years ago, but he's fine now. Yeah, we went out like a week. And they don't call him the tripod. 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 And they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer. If you catch my drift. This is crap. Daniel hooked up with the Phillips' ex-girlfriend. Daniel hooked up with the Philip's ex-girlfriend a couple years ago,
That's fine.
but they're fine now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
we
went out.
went out like a week, and
They
they
don't
don't come,
photographer.
and they don't come, and they don't come the, and they don't, and they don't come the tripod, and they don't come the tripod, and they don't come, and they don't call, and they don't call, and they don't call him the tripod, and they don't call him the tripod, and they don't call him the tripod, and they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer. If you catch my drift. This is crap. To down, to out, can go down. Daniel hooked up with the Philip's ex-girlfriend a couple years ago, but they're fine now. Yeah, we went out like a week, and they don't come, and they don't come, and they don't call, and they don't call him the tripod, and they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer. If you catch my drift. This is crap. No. No. To down, to the out. Can go there. I'm sorry. Anyway, I wish I would. I wish I wasn't coming as a new guy and such. I wish I wasn't coming as a new guy under such terrible circumstances. I realize I have some awful big teeth shoes to fill, but I can't tell you how excited I am to be working on such an amazingly talented, dedicated staff. Now, I'd like to take the moment to talk a little about. So I'm so sorry I'm late. Oh, you began without me. Sorry, Lamina. Mark. Gift. Thank you. As I was saying, I really why aren't you gonna open it? So we're asking Crystal to commemorate your first day. Thank you, but it is Daniel, not Danny. What? I'm malicious self. I'm maliciously. I'm maliciously. I'm maliciously. I'm maliciously. I'm maliciously. I'm maliciously. I'm maliciously upset, Mark. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Write this from memory, please. As I was saying, it's a particularly exciting time for me. I think we need to discuss. I think we need to discuss the. I think we need to. I think we need to discuss the Fabius cosmetic supplement. Fabio Cosmetic, the biggest ad by year new paid layout editorial I ever worked on. She 5 year love.
Daniel, you don't understand.
The biggest ad by of the biggest ad by the paid layout editorial I ever worked on. Sure Fabio will love whatever come on. Well, sure Fabio will love well, wow. Sure Fabio loved whatever we come up with. Daniel. Well, sure Fabio loved whatever we come up with. Daniel, you don't understand. Look, given the circumstances, Fabio need to sign off on the spread before we got a plant. Obviously, we are here to help you succeed, and we've got plenty of ideas. So I think we all need to get back to work to make sure that this your very first issue with your name on the masthead. Sparkers. Okay, everyone, let's not dilly-dally, for our editor needs us. Killer Pancho. Thanks. Mr. Meat. Excuse me, I'm Mr. Meat. Hi. I just wanted to come and introduce myself. Personally, I'm Barry Suarez. It's a pleasure to meet you. Barry, who do you work for? Well, I work for you. I'm your new assistant. Did you get the crease under the hairline? Yes, Willie? Oh, 20 years, Mark. No one has done more, worked harder. I've bled for this magazine. How to make it into the icon it is today. Icon it is nasty, nepotistic son of a bitch gives my job to his son. Who's it? Self-jobless star punk who knows nothing about fashion. About fashion? Tell me the truth. It's because I'm getting old. Absolutely not. Oh. Oh, you do you do you could do with a tapping more between the brows. So what are you gonna do? Just wait and see. Well, he's well when you say where to fall. Well, he's well on his way to fall flat on his face.
This is mode, not.
Well, he's well on his way to falling flat on his face. I mean, can you believe that, assistant? This is mode, not dog fancy. Then, what do you want me to do with the leftover? All yours.
Give me a moment,
Give me a moment,
Mark.
Mark.
How are you recovering, darling?
How are you recovering, darling? Well, I'm sure you'll feel better once everything here starts coming to a boil. Mm-hmm. Here. Oh, thank you. What are you doing? Um, I'm just gathering information. I'm just gathering information. Um, I'm just gathering information on Fabia for Daniel. It's so fabulously douchey. Who's him, right? Philip Michelle. He's a photographer. Oh, he's doing the supplement, isn't he? He's a miss. He's shot like everything. Yeah, I think looks they're really. Yeah, I think it looks like they're really good friend. There seems. Well, there have been some drama. Daniel hooked up with a Philip's girlfriend for a couple months. Daniel hooked up with a Philip's girlfriend a couple years ago. But they're fine now. Yeah, we went out for like a week. I mean, and they don't call, and they don't call him the tripod, and they don't call him the tripod because he's a photographer. If catch my drift. This is crap. No, no. To down, to out. Here go down. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, this is terrible.